Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of our VGC 2019 Battle Series. We are here again today. We're going to continue playing with this Lunala, Xerneas, Smeagol, Incineroar, Toxicroak and Tapu Lele team that we kicked off in our last episode to begin the Moon series. And one thing that I did mention in yesterday's episode was what we're trying to do for the next 3 episodes. So yesterday, today and tomorrow is if we can get 50 likes per video, I will bring back double battles to each episode. So it's a little challenge for you guys to see if we've got the interest there, but if not, we'll just continue at 1 battle per day, which is fine. But I just want to gauge your interest to see if that is something that you would like to see come back to the channel, and something that I'm more than happy to do. So like I say, into the Moon series, we are kicking off with Lunala Xerneas. Without further ado, let's get into it, guys. One of the things I did notice as well coming into the new Moon series is we are playing the signature Z move on Lunala, and it is copyright blocked by YouTube, so we have to be aware of that. I'll have to think of some overlays to put over if we are using it, because I'm sure over the next week we will definitely see it, or it would feel a bit like a waste, wouldn't it? So without further ado, let's get the music on, guys, and the levels and everything are perfect for us going forward. Things are going to be a little bit sketchy as we go into this week and next, but it should be fine. Hopefully we can find an opponent as well. And there we go, we've got our first opponent of the episode 1, 15-16 rating from Japan. And as I say that, we'll jump into team preview, and as you can see, our opponent is running a team of Lunala, Kyogre, Ludicolo, Amoonguss, Incineroar and Kartana. So the big restricteds here are the Lunala, the Kyogre. The one thing that sticks out to me and does throw up a few alarm bells straight away is that Ludicolo with the Kyogre. Is the Kyogre scarfed? Because that will probably cause us a few issues. Now we do have Toxicroak here that we can utilise, and it's probably something that we generally want to bring. It does wall the Ludicolo and the Kyogre, and it is there to help us with these situations. So I think we will bring the Toxicroak. I think we probably want to lead with Lunala as well. Or do we want to go with the Xerneas? Because the Xerneas boosting up turn 1 could be huge for us, although we don't know what this Lunala is carrying, and it probably is likely to have something like Tailwind. I think we'll go with Incineroar as well. It pairs up nicely, even though the rain's there. It gives us Intimidate against the Incineroar, the Kartana, the Amoonguss. Not so much the Amoonguss, but it can hit it offensively with its fire typing, so it's got some nice utility there, definitely. And obviously for the Lunala as well, it's a nice switch in from our Lunala into their Lunala attacking, you know. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with those 4, and we will kick right back into the battle as we count down to the final few seconds of this match. But I'm expecting my opponent to probably lead Lunala, Kyogre, or Kyogre, Ludicolo in this situation. They've got to be put off a little bit by the Tapu Lele there. They can't freely use that fake out support that they've got with the Kyogre, but one of the things that they do have is the Lunala that will really benefit from that psychic terrain. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 with both players here. Hopefully we've got the right Pokemon to do the job. I believe we have, but we'll have to see as we get into it. And we see my opponent lead off with the Kartana and Lunala, as we lead off with our Lunala and our Toxicroak. So we've got a nice option to switch out the Toxicroak right now into Incineroar and get some Intimidate onto our opponent, and I think I might just do that rather than... One of the things I could do as well is go for the Moongeist, the Z move, into the opposing Lunala and switch into Incineroar, which isn't a bad idea. So we're probably going to have to cut out the screen here and do some overlay, because the Z move, as I say, has been copyright struck on YouTube. So anytime we do use this absolutely phenomenal Z move, we have to overwrite it, otherwise the video will just get taken down and we won't be able to play it, which makes me cry and makes you cry, because it's a really nice animation. But the one thing about it is very long, and it's got some huge kind of big screen capture moments as well. So we'll see what my opponent's doing, just lock it in there. I'm going to see a fake out from Toxicroak into that Kartana. I'm going to prevent it from moving this turn, as we do win that speed tie. And if this Lunala is not stashed, then it is going down, down, down. And as you see, we're going to have to overwrite this, unfortunately, but I will make sure that we come back. I'll talk you through what's happening. So Lunala right now, big moon face. We're probably alright here. I think it's from this point now that we're going to have to overwrite it. So we will overwrite it with something. I'll think of something a little bit funny to put over the top of this, so it keeps you amused rather than having to just sit there and just Look at the time. It's tick-tock. So we'll do something fun. Let me just take a drink while we... And that's really nice for us. I mean, getting rid of the Lunala is so huge for us. That's one restricted down. And then we're going to have probably the Kyogre in the back. I wonder if the Amoonguss has been brought, or the Ludicolo. I would say the Ludicolo, but it's not even the Ludicolo, so we're not even going to have to deal with that. It is the Incineroar. It is going to cycle Intimidate. But like I said, now we've got a really good opportunity to just cycle in our Incineroar, get Intimidate onto both of these targets. Don't need to worry about it and start throwing out some damaging attacks like a Drain Punch into Kartana and start getting some damage on that. The one thing that we need to be a bit careful of, I guess, is making sure that we do take care of Toxicroak, because like I say, the one thing that we can probably guarantee that is in the back for my opponent is the Kyogre, and with our Toxicroak it does give us a lot better of a matchup with it on our side of the field than without it. So there is the fake out into the Toxicroak. Tailwind coming out from the Kartana now, which is quite nice. Speed control option there that you haven't seen so much of in the Sun series, but you do see it a lot now, probably going into the Moon series with it having more of an option of Focus Sash and the Z move and things like that. So we have got, I think what I might do is just knock off into, I would say the Incineroar probably switches out for the see, I want to Flare Blitz into the Kartana, but I really don't think it stays in. I mean, I could Flare Blitz and I could Drain Punch as well, just to kind of cover bases here. It's just in case the Kyogre switches in. It might switch in for that. Okay, so we're not going to see any switches. Just going to see a Leaf Blade come out. Toxicroak is a poison type, so it's not very effective, unfortunately. Flare Blitz coming out. It is intimidated, so hopefully we can take this. Just about. And we are going to get that Drain Punch before the Flare Blitz as well, which is nice. Get some health back before Toxicroak gets taken out completely from that Flare Blitz. And the Flare Blitz here from our Incineroar is going to be enough onto the Kartana, pick up the kill. And like I say, I expect the Kyogre to come in now. And with a few turns of Tailwind, we've got to be a little bit careful. But as long as we've got Toxicroak kicking round, we should be fine. The Kyogre coming in, is if it has got access to Thunder, it is kind of forced into using that this next turn. It's a lovely pink Kyogre that we had a nice discussion about on the stream the other night. If you ever miss our streams, we stream regularly on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so make sure that you do come over and check out the streams over on Twitch. It's linked in the description below. Shameless plug, shameless plug. So what I think I'll do is, I don't really want to sack. I'm going to bring in Lunala because we've still got our Shadow Shield intact. I think we can take it. And actually no, I'm not. I'm going to go for a knockoff into the Kyogre, and I'm going to Drain Punch into the no, I'm going to switch into the Lunala. Toxicroak, or do I? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm probably overcomplicating this way more than it needs to, but I feel like the Kyogre here doesn't want to Water Spout or Origin Pulse. If it's got it, it wants to Thunder into that Toxicroak. Huh. Okay. It's such crazy logic doing that though. I mean, like, you just heal the Toxicroak up in that situation. I really don't understand that. Because you heal the Toxicroak up, we Drain Punch and take a massive chunk out of Incineroar. It Flare Blitzes, but it's reduced in the rain. We'll protect with Lunala for sure. And we'll just Drain Punch the Incineroar. This Kyogre will be crazy. Watch now, it won't Water Spout and we'll end up... yeah, of course. There we go. At least we know it's not... Scarfed. Incineroar Flare Blitz. I don't think we take this in the rain. Nah. Should have faked out. And then the Tailwind Pit is out. So I mean, we're still not in the worst situation because we still got Xerneas to come in. We can Geomancy. We just need to get some damage onto this Kyogre, so its water spouts are not doing as much damage. So I will Geomancy for sure. Wow, this is going right down to the wire, and we didn't need it to go this far at all. We know the Kyogre can't protect here, we can Psyshock. The problem is if the Kyogre's got the Hydro Vortex, which it likely has, I would imagine. So you'll see Hydro Vortex into the Xerneas, and then the knockoff into the Lunala. So this could all go pear-shaped. But we'll see, we'll see. Like I say, I think earlier on we overcomplicated things. We didn't need to switch out the Toxicroak when we did. But I really felt that the Kyogre at that stage was forced into making like a completely different play to what it did. And then my opponents played around that quite nicely and taking advantage of us pivoting around and manoeuvring around in these situations. So we do get the Geomancy off and a Psyshock into that Kyogre. This should do nice damage regardless. And even though we will probably lose Lunala here, that water spout is reduced in damage, which is pretty big for us. Lunala going down, and hopefully that Incineroar does go for a knockoff now. Just another Flare Blitz, just throwing them out. And I think what I'll do now is just target down this Incineroar. We should be able to pick up the knockout with a... Actually, I'm not too worried. I'm going to go Moonblast into the Kyogre. I'm worried about a Z-move in that slot, and I don't want to get caught out. And a crit Z-move in the rain. Yeah, we don't want to leave. We don't want to leave. Like, the Kyogre could well and truly protect here, but I'm happy. We're not going to take too much damage from the Flare Blitz. It's -1 in the rain. And if the Kyogre protects here, we know we can get it the next turn. So no protect, yeah. It's just the risk there that you've got to think. If it does go for the Waterium Z, the Hydro Vortex, the rain is still up. 200 base, water type attack. Yeah, maybe it's not the best to just give it a risk there, because we're not full health. So, and there's a critical hit for Boot from the Incineroar, but now it's definitely in range for a Moonblast, and we somehow managed to kind of scrape ourselves through this when we didn't really need to. We made this way harder than we needed to make it, and we do manage to come out with a victory, so that's always good. But like I say, wow, it actually takes it. Gets another crit here. It's gonna be bad. It's a Assault Vest for sure. And the rain does stop, but yeah, no, it's definitely over now. Good game to my opponent. And like I say, we got into a bit of a mind game ourselves with the Toxicroak, thinking he's definitely not going to go for a water type attack. It'll heal up the Toxicroak and then puts him in a bad position, so Toxie can just keep hitting away at the Incineroar. Obviously we should have just stayed in, let it go down, and just kept our resources in the back rather than switch things in and lose a lot of stuff and then make it way more difficult for us in the end. Thankfully we had Xerneas, so we could Geomancy and take the match in the end, but some good lessons to learn going forward, especially with this sort of team. You know, it's got a lot of fallbacks, but the thing is, you've got to really set it up well and not take big chances in games. And they're the pointers that I want you guys to take away with you when you transition into your own battles. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments in the comment section below. Remember, we are looking for that goal of 50 likes per video this week, to make sure that we can try and bring back double matches per episodes, I should say. So I will just say thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great morning, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is where you are, and we'll see you for the next School of Hard Knocks. Until then, guys, take care and bye bye.